So I feel like art is an essential thing, and it's really hard to tell people that all they need or what would help to cure their sadness would be, something to put it into, which is art. You can't really just say that. I was saying a good way to look at it is try to find something you always thought was cool and try to make something out of it, but also know that you're putting emotion into it. You're trying to, it's like a self-help thing. Like, you're trying to iron out emotions. Like,
that's really
and you can
put it.
And you can put your heart into things so that it's a productive thing that you're doing. And at that point, with so much to think about, you don't even have to think about what you're going to draw or what you're going to paint. You just, I don't know, all I have in my head is painting because I've wanted to paint for a while, but like,
no, I feel
even like music, you can just start with the drum beat.
Yeah,
and then
you
didn't
stuff. Learn how to play guitar and you just picked it up like a year ago or something.
Yeah.
You just learned. You didn't even watch videos about it or anything. Like, you just try it.
Yeah.
That's really hard for a lot of people to just like try stuff. Eris, she was going to college to be an art therapist. She's not doing that anymore.
Yeah, I remember that.
But I just think that's a really cool idea. And it sounds like a lot of like what you're talking about, like teaching I don't know how exactly it works, but I guess like you just talk to people while you make art. Like you do therapy for people while you make art together or something like that.
Yeah.
Right? I feel like it's really good because but it's a real it's a real skill to learn how to put emotion into art, because not anyone, but you know what I mean. Like, a lot of people can just draw something, but it's hard to like learn how to put emotion into it. You know what I mean? It's hard to
it's a whole different thing.
Right.
Like when I think I was 19 or 20 when I started to like just draw like the images in my head as I went, like going in with no forethought and just putting things on paper that my brain was spawning,
Yeah.
It took me 13, 14 years of like drawing and like doing things that had a purpose, like cartoons that were funny, or like anime for like a manga, things like that, or just drawings that I thought were cool and what I wanted to. It's so crazy, like I'm so different now because I was so invested in the technical aspect of things. I was like, I'm gonna learn how to draw like a man with all the proportions correct, and it's gonna look really good. I was so invested, like that's all I thought drawing was. When now I'm like, that's not in my head at all. I'm just like, what I was saying before, like just stuff on a page that my brain was just thinking of on the spot. And I think like losing the mind aspect of it is what really gets the heart
totally
going.
Totally.
You feel me?
Yeah, like one thing that's good, I feel like, is to like maybe like watch something or listen to music while you draw, and just focus on the thing you're watching or focus on the music and just let your hand go. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I like that a lot.
That's a really good exercise, I feel like, to learn how to like just not care about what it looks like.
Yeah.
That's a big problem for me. Like, I've been drawing all my life, and just the perfectionist aspect of me, like I get so hard on myself when I draw. And I feel really like depressed sometimes when I draw because it doesn't look how I want it to look.
Right.
And it's always been hard for me to like get that negativity out of what I'm drawing and just draw. But with painting, it's so different. Like, painting, it just flows so naturally for me, and I don't have that thought of, this doesn't look like exactly how I want it to.
Yeah.
Because the cool thing about painting is that, like, you just put on layers. Like, you just put on different layers. Like, with a drawing, like, if it doesn't come out the way you want it to the first time, it's fucked.
Right.
But with painting, like, if you don't like something, you just change it. You just go with the flow.
Yeah.
And I like that so much because And that's even better because the more things you fix and the more layers there is, the better it looks because it has more texture and it has more depth.
Yeah.
So it's like the more mistakes you make, the better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It just creates more of a
I
story.
thrive on mistakes, dog.
It's like, and that's why I love painting so much. Like, I don't know, maybe it's just because it comes naturally for me, but it makes me feel so good. And I wish I could channel that, like, positivity into my drawing too, but it's just a lot harder.
Yeah, dog, I quit drawing because I got depressed as well. Like, I went through all the things you're going through. Like, things never came out what I wanted, and I would have to erase so much to. And then every day it was like I would draw for a really long time, and then it would look great, and then the next day I would wake up and it looks terrible. You know, that kind of thing.
That's how you are with your music too, a little bit.
Yeah, but with drawing, it's like effort, and and you're not really going anywhere because I don't know. I never really had a lot of confidence in my drawing, even though
you're so amazing at drawing, baby.
Now I am. I mean, amazing is a stretch.
I think you're amazing. Like your drawing is. Like, I wish you would draw more often because they're so incredible to me.
I appreciate it.
It's so creative and like it just looks like a look into like someone's mind, kind of. They're like kind of psychedelic, kind of.
Yeah, I wonder if drugs had to do with any of. I mean, not drugs, but like psychedelics.
Well, those are drugs, but yeah.
Well, they should be classified as something different. It's so insane that they're drugs.
I feel you.
I mean, because drugs is like
hard drugs.
A bad drug.
Yeah.
Like drugs are not a good word.
Well, drugs are also like medication.
And they're medication.
So I don't know. I think it could be either way.
It's so much. I mean, but plants aren't medication.
It's just some people there.
I guess so. Whatever.
But yeah, psychedelics, not hard drugs.
Yeah. I wonder if that has anything to do with
could be.
Doing too much sativa.
Salvia?
Salvia.
Too much sativa too, bro.
Yeah.
Something I wanted to say is my mom, like, the main thing of her art classes, like the main lesson she teaches is to like go back to when you were a child and like drawing with crayons and stuff. Like that's the main thing she like teaches to people is like how to let go of all your negativity and like how to stop thinking of yourself as like either an artist or not an artist and just channel your inner child and like just create without thinking.
Yeah.
That's like the main thing that she tries to teach people.
That's beautiful. I love that. That just like made me think back and like you can really connect with that part of yourself. That's
right. Yeah, you just have to like think back and be like, when you just scribbled, you know what I mean, and just made something, and then you were proud of it. You know what I mean, even if it looked like shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I think something a lot harder to grasp as well is drawing for yourself, because it's a really weird concept that you would like create an image for yourself, because images are supposed to be shared, like they're information givers, like computers. It's like having a computer or like Facebook for yourself. It's totally. Like it's almost impossible to grasp, but once you do, it's like I don't know if you can ever fully grasp it, because even at the end I'm like, oh, this thought and technique will be recognized someday.
I kind of get it, because like the thing you were talking about with like Facebook being but like having like Facebook for yourself, you know Tumblr, right?
Yes.
I feel like Tumblr is the closest to that, because like Tumblr is so anonymous. Like you just like post things and like repost stuff, and like no one you know in real life follows you. So it's kind of just like for yourself. And like I like looking at my own Tumblr and like seeing what I posted years ago.
Yeah.
So it's totally possible like to make things just for yourself. But it's hard because art is such like a outward focused thing. Even though it's like so personal, it's like made for other people to look at.
Yeah.
You know, like we have museums, people sell their art, like people post it. It's so hard to grasp like making it just for yourself, because it kind of feels like pointless.
Yeah.
But you kind of have to get over that hump a little bit.
It even feels like, thinking about it more, it even feels like just another technique to make your art look better for other people later.
Yeah.
Like it always comes back to who's going to see this in the future or after I'm dead, yada yada.
And art has become like such a capitalist thing, you know what I mean? Like, how do I make my art more accessible? How do I make it what people will like, so we'll buy it and view it. How do I do this?
I
and
hate,
it's like,
I hate
fuck
questions
that.
like that. It
Right?
sucks to like answer things like that.
Right. Like with you and like your like rap music, it's like what's popular right now is not what you do. You know what I mean? So you have to like struggle to be like, how do I make this something people will listen to? How do I make this something that like my type of viewer would like?
Yeah.
But it's like, yeah, I don't know. It's so confusing. It's so hard to reconcile those two things, like the capitalism and, but art is so not capitalist. At its core, it's so personal and like untouchable. You know what I mean? So it's hard that it's become so infiltrated by like our capitalist society.
I know, and you'll see. I mean, like, companies will look for that in a person. Like they'll look for the true artist in them, in order to, and then like they end up making requests, and eventually you have this list of things that they want for your art.
Yeah, totally.
And it's like the death of art, really.
Exactly.
Money is the death of art, I believe.
It's the death of everything.
Which is weird. It's weird because art has been. I mean, for some reason, when I think art, all I think are paintings, but like paintings sell for a lot of money.
Yeah.
But I guess it's because there's only one of it, and somebody connects with it.
It's true.
And they have the money. It makes more sense than like advertisement.
Yeah.
I think it's more. Yeah, it's more saying. I don't know. Money. The fact that money exists is hard to deal with in the first place.
Yeah.